Hey guys, what's going on? We've got this Uniview CW180 all-in-one temperature detection system here. We're gonna unbox it, get it all set up and ready to go. First of all, this tiniest box on the top here, this is actually the temperature detection unit. So this guy right here is the heart of the entire system. This is what you're gonna hold your wrist up to and it's going to take your temperature. We also have the camera here in this box. Let's open this guy up. There we go, nothing too fancy here, just a standard 2 megapixel 1080p security camera. That's gonna go on top of the mount, and it's going to be used as a live monitor so people can see themselves as they approach. We've got an NVR here. It's a very simple NVR, and it does already have the viewing software on there, so once you plug this NVR into the monitor, it's all ready to go. We've also got some cabling in there. We have the 1080p monitor here. It's a 32-inch LED TV screen, and this is the entire structure. It's our mount that we'll put together, and it will house everything. So I will go ahead and speed up this video so you can kind of see the whole process. So yesterday before I left, I finished building the structure, and this morning I did all the wiring. I got the cables run through the system and everything set up. So I just want to show you real quick how I have all of this connected. Then we will turn it on, make sure everything's working properly, and then I will go through and tighten everything up and finish the cable management and all of that. First, let me show you what we got. So here is our temperature module. It's not tightened down yet. I just wanted to make sure that everything's working properly before I tighten the screws. We have it wired to these cables. These cables come included and they do come stripped, so you don't need an additional wire stripper. You will probably need some electrical tape or some way of fastening these wires together. So I have these wired to these two cables. One of them is carrying the temperature data and the other is carrying the power cable. So those cables come up here, down the arm, up the tube, out here at the top where I have them wired to our camera. Here is the temperature data wires. These are RS485 wires, P and N. You just gotta line those up, make sure that they match. And then I have the power cable coming out here connected to the DC 12 volt connector. The cool thing about these Uniview cameras is that the DC 12 volt when it's connected via power over Ethernet, actually outputs a 12 volt connection. So it's not only an in connection, it's also out. This is really cool for us because it means we can use the power coming out of the camera to power our temperature module. You can do this a couple of different ways. This is probably the easiest way. I have this male to female pigtail connector. So I have the 12 volt wire and the ground wire connected to this pigtail connector, and I just inserted that directly into the camera's connector. If you don't have one of these, they're super cheap. You can pick one up on our website. But if you're in a pinch, you can also just completely cut off this connector with some wire cutters and just recycle the red and the black cables from inside this cable. All right, so we have everything wired there. Down here at the NVR, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of blends in with the box. We have our NVR at the bottom. We have the camera plugged in via Ethernet cable into the PoE switch. We have the power cable. We have the mouse coming out the top. This comes with the NVR. However, you can also just get a wireless mouse to put in there. That would probably be a lot easier to manage with a setup like this. What else do we have down there? We have the HDMI cable, which is connected to the monitor. And we have the monitor's cable and the NVR cable coming out of here to this power strip. In a real world scenario, it would probably look a lot cleaner just to get a power strip to put inside there or a two-sided extension cable. And that way you can just power the monitor and the NVR using that strip, and you would just have one cable coming out that you'd have to deal with. Another thing, I haven't done this yet, but I will here in a bit before I lock up this box. I need to run a separate cable through there, or through there, I guess it doesn't really matter, carrying the data that I will plug into the NVR to get our NVR and our camera up and running on our network. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the switch and we will see if everything was done correctly. We can see that we do have power to our camera because we saw the lights flashing just now. The NVR is booting up. All right, we've got the interface up, and as soon as the camera boots up, we will see what we have going on in terms of camera feed and temperature detection.
Please expose your wrist. Please expose your wrist.
So funny story, I had the positive and negative terminals switched on the pigtail connector. So let's try this one more time.
Normal temperature.
All right, we got it working. All right, I've pretty much got this thing ready to go. Let me show you what I've done to kind of tighten up some of the loose ends. Here is the temperature module. I've got it connected to the bracket and I've got those wires pushed in here. And they do send you with a little plug to plug this thing up and make it look good. In the back, I have this plastic tube wrapped around the cables. They do send that tube with you for cable management. Now this is a rather long tube, so you can cut it to length and use it wherever you want to use it. Down here, I have my equipment box closed up. And I did go ahead and decide to just leave a power strip in there. So both the monitor and the NVR are connected to that power strip. I do have this network cable coming out and I have it wrapped up and placed right here. The box does come with 3 of these cable holders. I've only used one right there to hold my network cable when I'm not using it. So there you go. Our CW180 is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to our network and power it up, and we will see what this system can do.